Hey friend, we are at my parents' driveway today, and we're not working on my van as we normally do when we stop by. In fact, we're working on my dad's VW van, and we are giving him a complete power system overhaul. Not one, not two, but 400 watts of solar and an all-in-one lithium-ion battery bank system that has 1400 watts and a built-in 1800 watt inverter. Everything you need to run some pretty awesome stuff out of a camper van. We're gonna decide an install location for inside the van and also come up with some fun wiring stuff so we can charge this thing while driving, and also put a solar charge port on the outside of the van so that way we can have the panels set up when he's out camping and doesn't have to worry about cables and stuff like that. It's gonna be a pretty sweet setup.
So this is my dad's 1986 Vanagon Westfalia, or as we just call it, the Westie. This is his third VW van, and it's his nicest one by far, but it is seriously lacking in the power department. It's got a factory conversion from Westfalia already in it, but he has no additional power for when he actually arrives at camp. So things like charging accessories, running any kind of coffee pots or things like that, he's just not able to do it.
Kind of a fun thing about our setup here is we're running an orange extension cable over to my dad's Westie because he doesn't really have a power system. So
it'd be great for him to have a power system of his own. And I've done a video like this in the past where we upgraded my friend Jesse's van and got him an all-in-one power system and wired in some DC charging stuff and went into the basics of wiring and fuses. So if you're interested in the basics of the basics, I definitely recommend checking out that video. But Jackery just today released a new updated unit, and they wanted to sponsor a video to see how I could put this thing to use. And I thought it'd be a great fit for upgrading my dad's VW van. And there's also some notable upgrades here that if you're interested in an all-in-one system like this, you should definitely check out. And after I cover some of the features, we're gonna go straight on with the install. So this is the Explorer 1500, and it's an upgrade in quite a few ways from their Explorer 1000. Of course, it has increased capacity, more overall power to be used, but there's also some other quality of life upgrades that I think are gonna make a system like this more usable. So the DC charge capacity has been increased massively. The Explorer 1000 had a 200 watt limit for DC charging, and the Explorer 1500 now has 600 watts from the combined DC input sources. That's a big positive because that means you can charge up this unit quicker and get out to using the power faster, which is great because this is something that we asked Jackery to implement in their newer units. So it's great to know that they're listening. The front display got an upgrade, showing more useful information front and center. They also packed in an upgraded inverter, which is fantastic. So the Explorer 1000 had a 1000 watt inverter, and this now has an 1800 watt inverter, which is fantastic. So this basically means any household accessory that you have, you can run off this battery system. So I was excited to test this out, and I was able to bring a pot of water to a rolling boil with my induction cooktop using only 7% of the total capacity. So this is a really big win because it makes electric cooking a lot more of a viable option because you have the increased capacity and you now have an inverter that can actually supply enough power to run these things. So these all-in-one units can be a good option for people that don't want all the complication that comes from dedicated custom systems in camper vans, because out of the box, you can essentially start using it right away. Now, of course, as I've always talked about, is that you can get a lot better of a user experience if you actually create a dedicated space in your van for utilizing it. So that's mainly actually what we're gonna cover in today's video, setting up my dad's VW van to have better charging options while on the move, and also be able to put it into a location where you can best utilize it. So with a system like this, you want access to that front panel so you can be seeing the power that's left. You can be turning the inverter on and off. So the location that you end up installing it, you want to take into consideration how the usability is going to be impacted by where you put it. I'm excited to see how this unit holds up over time for my dad, and obviously I'll update the description if there's anything that we run into usability wise, so I can maybe help better inform you for whatever decisions that you're trying to make, because I don't want you to end up with a system that you're not going to enjoy using. So let's get on with installing this thing.
this is your third Westie,
It's my third, yeah.
and this is by far the cleanest that you've...
Yeah, this one's very clean. It's in great shape. I'm the second owner, which is amazing.
We already had a conversation about where this is gonna best fit, but let's just kind of address some of that because I think it's important for the modifications we end up making. We arrived pretty quickly that it would be super convenient to chuck this guy in there. You wanna chuck it in there? That spot is great. A big downside is that basically gets rid of half your trunk storage.
Yeah, there goes a bit of storage.
I think the benefit of pulling out the heater to essentially double your space, and then that gives the option of moving this guy over to this side.
Yes.
So that way if you have a hole here and cables coming out, it's not like right at the doorway.
I think if we can do that, this would be the ideal spot. It's in the back. We're gonna get more space in the garage under the bench here, and we're gonna, if we cut a front opening, we'll have access to all the ports and the displays.
Now the thought of cutting the OEM wood bench seat is a little bit too much to bear. So staring at this thing for a minute, I asked my dad, hey, I think we could just pull this board out and make it out of another piece of plywood, so that way we can make any modifications we want to it and not ruin the value of your van, so you can always reverse and go back later. So if we pull this heater out and block off those lines and replace this board with one that's almost identical, that gives us a lot of flexibility. It's really like the units. That's pretty slick. Are you feeling good about that?
Yeah, I like it.
You're distracted by the lines that are perfect.
I know, I'm bothered by it. I haven't figured out how to make that perfect, but I'm gonna have to live with it, huh? That's just how it goes with the
DIY.
Yep.
This here is the back area cabin heater that really only is helpful as you're driving. Oh, I'm getting coolant on your van. Dad, do you have any napkins? I'm dropping coolant. The engine and the Vanagon's in the back, so these coolant hoses go there. Oh yeah, there they are, okay. That's a pretty nice replacement. Nice work.
That's good, man.
That's clean. I mean, look, this is looking pretty slick. I like this. I'm glad you did all the hard work of making this board.
Yeah.
Do we want to just have it be plugged in here and go, or do we want to tap off it and leave these two outlets bare?
Let's tap off it.
So if we just like took some of this 110, got it down into that cabinet there to tap off before it gets there.
Yep.
Wow, that's a slick fit up. Whew. Delicately drill a hole that we try hide there. I'm fine with drilling it, but if I miss and hit the tank, I'll have to buy you a new tank, and that would be fun. But
Let's not do that. I trust you enough to not watch.
if it ends up looking funny,
Full send.
full send. That's exhilarating. That feels rebellious. Hey, cool. I didn't drill into your water tank. This is a peace of mind.
You did really great. Yes.
And have room for some 12-volt stuff and not like get into a pinch.
Yeah, and speaker wires.
And speaker wires. Yeah, my dad in the past couple of years has picked up making hollow wooden surfboards. He's already made this gorgeous 9-foot board in his current project. Let's see it, Dad.
It's not done, obviously. It's got a lot of sanding left.
I mean, come on, check out how beautiful this thing is. This is just like a work of art.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. I can't wait to get out in the water with it and paddle into a wave. 2 fins happening, one here and here. It's gonna be old school looking, classic wood, cedar and yellow cedar.
That's a good excuse to keep investing in woodworking equipment, is to be pumping out surfboards with the tools you're buying.
Yeah, I think so.
Ever since I've moved out, he's set up his wood shop a little bit more focused towards doing good projects and doesn't have to worry as much about tools just like growing legs and running away all the time. So there, things can actually have spots. My style of tool management is a little more chaotic, but I respect it. Okay, to terminate those cooling ends. No auto shops open today. I'm sure they have something meant for it, but that under there and a little cap.
It's better than what we got.
by a margin. Yep.
So that's to cap the coolant lines that were going to that heater under the seat.
Yeah, we just grabbed something around the shop, some bolts to close those off, but that's not gonna work in the long run. So Nick is out here filming today. If you're wondering who's holding the camera,
Trying to ask good questions.
do you have a van?
No. I got a Buick.
You got a
great.
Buick. But you want to get an adventure rig, right? You're
Oh
looking
yeah.
at 4Runners.
A 4Runner would be great. Something I could camp out of for like a week at a time, I think. Max.
You look like a gamer with the
Yeah.
microphone headset
So
on.
yeah, this is good.
Ah, wind's freaking out. Awning time to go away.
It's crazy.
Because this van has a conversion in it, it already has some 12-volt circuits for things like a water pump and the fridge and stuff. And the engine's in the back, but the starter battery's underneath the passenger seat. And we're trying to just make sure that we're deciding on the best flow of power to get our highest quality alternator charging reliably in the back without messing anything up. We're taking a look right now at how to run a cable in between that seat base and this one in a way that is efficient.
The vent, but the vent goes.
Are you sure?
I'm loving this.
This panel plugs into here, and then you plug another panel into here, and that ups the voltage because it's running them in series. So then we'll have one cable inside the van that then goes into the Jackery itself. We're now onto crimping and cutting and splicing wires. This is my personal favorite part of DIY camper van anything in electronics. I love, it's just so satisfying heat shrinking on terminals and crimping them.
So we got this threaded through here, under the base and down behind the carpet. Hopefully that's gonna conceal it a little bit through the floor, and back through here into this cavity here.
So this is city water pickup. This guy down here is 110, and we're swapping this guy out, and we're gonna put in the solar charging entry port somewhat like that. And we're gonna just close this, cap this guy off with just a little fitting. Could you help free my little cable? Thank you. Just pull that mesh ribbon back. Okay, that's good. pretty sweet little hack. Now, this guy right here, we plug him in. Now we can plug our panels to that. Over here. Oh, we were just talking about these.
Hi, Amber. Are you doing no cream?
I'm doing no cream, but I'm gonna add cream after Nick's done filming. Are you serious? I don't want anyone to judge me for putting cream in. First coffee of the day is black. Second, third, and fourth have cream.
I can get on that program, actually.
We're gonna start attaching some accessories. We've got our voltage sensing relay, so this is gonna be our equipment underneath the driver's seat. Hopefully get us a nice charging circuit. I'm prepping our auxiliary 12 volt circuit right here because I can, but it's actually gonna sit in that seat base. We're just gonna mount some of them to the board here. It's pretty basic stuff. The wiring on the bottom of the relay is really straightforward. You just put 12 volt from the starter battery in, and then you go to your auxiliary circuit out, and this only opens up when it meets certain charge conditions at the starter battery, so that way you don't drain it. I'm trying to keep things as clean as possible here, and the finish line's in sight for this project. Of course, labeling things is very helpful for your future self. I used to use my computer printer label maker, and I like it, but most of those labels fall off really easy and rub off, so I have to tape over my printed label. These little tabs just come right out of this little dispenser. This thing's like 15 bucks, and it wraps around and protects itself. I only found these this last year, and I've completely fallen in love with this way of labeling. We now have a 110 outlet source from inside the bench. We've got 12 volt inside the bench seat as well. And we've got solar inside the bench seat. And then we've got a face that lets us access the Jackery ports. So we've got a couple ends to splice onto this thing, and then we get to start buttoning up, which is exciting.
Okay, let's pop her in.
So, hypothetically, in a world where everything works the first try, here's our 12 volt from the alternator. This goes in there. We're getting 105 watts. Woo! Yeah. We're getting charged from starter battery right now.
Yes.
And it just shut off because the solenoid shut off. So that's exactly what we want to happen. This guy is solar out port on the van. So we've got alternator charging, solar charging in. Okay, you're not doing solar, you want to do AC?
There you go.
Boom.
Yeah.
You don't want to do AC, you want to do solar? Boom.
Wow.
I'll turn the van back on again here, and in a moment you'll see the light turn on. Okay, going back on.
That's really cool. It's like I could see myself being out in some spot, you know, making that cup of coffee that's always special, or a nice meal without using propane.
Nice.
That was fun today, son. Nice.
Okay, some final thoughts here at the end about this install spot and what things we're doing to wrap it up. We got some of these D-rings, which we're going to mount on this face on the backside to strap the Jackery in place while we're driving. My dad paint matched the interior in here, so we've got some paint to put over that board. And I do think this location is the most optimal as far as what's going to make the van functional. So sitting here at this table, pulling this out, working on a laptop here, being able to just run cables right down to here, turn the inverter off and on. And the cool part is in the bench sheet later, if he wants to upgrade the power system down the line, it's not like these changes were specific to the Jackery unit. He could easily add more batteries back here, and the stuff that we did today would still benefit that future system. That's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and remember,
Life's better when you make stuff.
Woo! Peace.